From Showtime and A24.
What do you love most about Whitney?
Comes a new series unlike any other.
Where do I even start?
Academy Award winner Emma Stone.
I like how you fight for us.
Nathan Fielder.
Money doesn't really matter when it's about doing the right thing.
And Benny Safdie.
You guys are strong, right? At the end of the day, you're going to survive, right?
Next question.
New episodes of The Curse, streaming now on Paramount Plus, only with the Paramount Plus with Showtime plan.
Prepare for an irresistible Thanksgiving meal at Whole Foods Market. Pick up an organic fresh whole turkey at the everyday low price of $3.99 per pound. Pro tip, shop today for the best selection. Or simply let Whole Foods Market cater your holiday with an elevated spread including gourmet turkey, sides like truffled Parmesan mashed potatoes, delicious desserts, and more. With holiday wine starting at $7.99, Whole Foods Market has Thanksgiving covered. Must be 21 plus. Please drink responsibly.
This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 1967. How Can You Attract and Keep the Right Guy? By Evan Marc Katz of evanmarckatz.com. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a weekend episode of Optimal Relationships Daily. I'm your host and narrator, Greg Audino, and I'll keep this intro nice and short for you today. Let's jump right into this article from longtime contributor Evan Marc Katz as we optimize your life. How Can You Attract and Keep the Right Guy? By Evan Marc Katz of evanmarckatz.com. You were delighted when I told you how to tell if a man was falling in love with you. You were thrilled when I told you when to dump a non-committal guy. I think you're going to be challenged by what I'm about to tell you in my next article. We've long ago established that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. That describes most of us when it comes to dating and relationships. You're wired a certain way. You're attracted to a certain kind of personality type. Over and over, you plug away, trying to make things work, even though it should readily be apparent by now. There's not necessarily something wrong with you, nor is every man in your life fatally flawed. The problem is how you two work as a couple. Two great ingredients don't necessarily taste good together. Lobster and cinnamon come to mind. So what we're here to do is to try and reduce this to a simple science, finding a man who's not just a great guy, but finding a man who's a great fit for your life. That may sound a little cold and cerebral to you, but I hate to tell you, following your heart has caused pretty much all of your relationship troubles. If love is blind, it's my job to take the blinders off and let you know how to make slight adjustments that will lead you to greater happiness. And let me be the first to tell you, greater happiness doesn't rest in choosing a guy who's just like you. My mantra to women is to look for a complement, not a clone. This may not come naturally to you, especially if you're a smart, strong, successful woman who thinks that you deserve a man who is smarter, stronger, and more successful than you are. Eventually, you're trying to date yourself. That kind of thinking is a huge blind spot for many women. Just imagine if men said the same thing. I need a woman who is smarter, stronger, and more successful than I am. No one would ever be able to settle down because everyone would be trying to trade up. This creates a conundrum for women who consider themselves in the 90th percentile of everything. In other words, the number of men who are taller, smarter, richer is going to be a small fraction of the population. Consider, 15% of men are 6 feet tall, 10% have master's degrees, 2% make over $200K a year, etc. Furthermore, these prime specimens of man meat are not necessarily looking to date female versions of themselves. You may want these alpha male studs, but these alpha male studs often prefer women who are less busy, more available, less critical, and lower maintenance. Therein lies the friction. What happens when you catch one of these Bill Clinton, Tiger Woods type men? Well, consider the personality type of a guy who is busy, driven, and wealthy. He's demanding. He's used to getting his way. He's a conqueror. He's not big on compromise. He doesn't think the rules apply to him. And he's got an endless supply of female suitors. Add those all up, and you have a man who is really hard to land for a successful 40-year relationship. The only way to land a man like that is to give him what he can't get anywhere else, what he can't get from his guy friends, what he can't get from his work, what he can't get from his hobbies. That's why he'd date you, because you provide an element to his life that is unique and special. He wants a woman who is nurturing and thoughtful and supportive and patient and fun and playful and sexy. This doesn't mean that he is turned off or intimidated by your intelligence or ambition, but it's merely a bonus. After all, he's surrounded by smart, driven people all day long. When he gets home, he needs to turn off his business mind. He doesn't need to be challenged or criticized. He needs to laugh. He doesn't care about your doctorate or your triathlon medals. He's got his own. And if you perpetually think that the more impressive you are, the more it's going to allow you to land an impressive man, I would encourage you to reconsider. Men are looking for someone who makes his life better, simply by being optimistic, silly, sexy, and fun. It's a completely different energy from your ability to slay dragons in the workplace. If you're a woman who doesn't consider herself an ambitious, intense CEO type, it will be far easier for you to land one of these men, because you offer a complementary feminine energy to his masculine energy. This can be hard to swallow, I acknowledge. But I'm telling you, after 8 years of coaching, I've become convinced that people don't change, which is why I'm not asking you to change yourself, only to change your choice of men. Recently, I was asked what percentage of my clients found love by changing their personalities versus what percentage of my clients found love from changing their choice of men. All my success stories changed their choice of men. If you're working 60 hours a week, you don't need a guy who does the same. You might need a guy who is your complement, a supporter, a nurturer, your biggest fan, who is your strength when the going gets tough. He makes you laugh. He listens to you. He gets you. You might need your own complement, just like the alpha males I've described do. You can protest that you don't want your complement. You still want your clone. Fair enough. How's that working for you? So, to me, your takeaway in figuring out how to attract and keep the right guy, your biggest problem is not who you are inside. It's your picker. The men you're choosing are not necessarily the right guy. Because when you choose someone with complementary energy, the puzzle pieces just fit, and the whole thing becomes easy. And I assure you, there's absolutely no need for dating coaching when you're in an easy relationship with a guy who's a great fit for your life. You just listened to the post titled, "How Can You Attract and Keep the Right Guy?" by Evan Marc Katz of evanmarckatz.com. We talk about love and communication here on the show every day, but there's always more to learn. And lately, I'm proud to say that my own knowledge of relationships has reached a new level thanks to our sponsor, Masterclass. Masterclass is an app and streaming platform that makes a meaningful gift this season because you can help a loved one learn a new skill from the world's best performers. It's like Masterclass instructors are your own personal mentors, providing content and videos that are going to help you reach a new level. For just $10 a month, there are 11 categories and over 180 masterclasses to pick from, with new classes added every month, like renowned psychotherapist Esther Perel's class, which helped me gain a better understanding of relational intelligence, something that has absolutely helped me to be more present and more communicative with the loved ones in my life. So, this holiday season, give one annual membership and get one free at masterclass.com/optimalrelationships. Right now, you can get 2 memberships for the price of one at masterclass.com/optimalrelationships. Masterclass.com/optimalrelationships. Offer terms apply.
Prepare for an irresistible Thanksgiving meal at Whole Foods Market. Pick up an organic fresh whole turkey at the everyday low price of $3.99 per pound. Pro tip, shop today for the best selection. Or simply let Whole Foods Market cater your holiday with an elevated spread including gourmet turkey, sides like truffled Parmesan mashed potatoes, delicious desserts, and more. With holiday wine starting at $7.99, Whole Foods Market has Thanksgiving covered. Must be 21 plus. Please drink responsibly.
And thank you to Evan for sharing more of his work with us. You know, it's easy to believe that we should date someone who is similar to us, whether in intelligence, ambition, or success. It's a really common notion that's risen to prominence more due to repetition than validity, in my opinion. However, this article reminds us that this approach may not lead to a successful and fulfilling relationship. It encourages us to consider the idea that a successful relationship involves two people with complementary qualities. Evan emphasizes that men, just like women, seek partners who make their lives better by providing unique qualities, such as nurturing, support, patience, playfulness. It highlights that being optimistic and silly and sexy and fun can be just as important as ambition and intelligence when it comes to attracting the right partner. So the ultimate takeaway is that finding the right person is not about changing who you are, though I should say I think Evan's assertion about people not being able to change is a bit short-sighted. Change can be gauged in so many ways, after all. But rather about making thoughtful choices in selecting a partner who complements your strengths and your weaknesses. So forget about searching for a mirror image of yourself, and instead leave today being encouraged to broaden your perspective on compatibility in relationships. That's what we're here to do on the show, and Evan's advice today is pretty well aligned with it. But that's going to bring us to the end for today, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in and doing right by your relationships. I hope you gained something from this article and that you're able to see your dating pursuits anew if you are on the market. And aside from that, I hope you're having a great weekend and look forward to being here with you again tomorrow. That's where your optimal life awaits.